as a retiree, you may be finding that the retirement plans and the benefits that you used to get, they're not nearly as good as they used to be in the past.
You are listening to the Aging Options podcast with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. As the best-selling author of Your Retirement, Dream or Disaster, and host of 2 hit public television specials, Rajiv Nagaich has emerged as a retirement planning thought leader known for his willingness to disrupt the status quo. In this weekly podcast, Rajiv Nagaich offers piercing insights about the hidden traps in traditional retirement planning advice, along with straight talk about the problems during retirement that money, investments, estate plans, and insurance products don't address. If your retirement plan has been all about saving money, creating an estate plan, and buying long-term care insurance, what Rajiv Nagaich says may surprise you.
This is Rajiv Nagaich with Aging Options on Aging Options, the podcast. Today we got a call on my radio show, and here's what the call was.
My husband retired from a major company in the area about 10 years ago, and we kept paying the insurance that he had through the company for our supplemental Medicare. Even though it was pretty expensive, we thought it was good to have it. Recently, the company changed to another insurance provider, and we've noticed now the billing has changed, and always before, Medicare would be charged first because that was our primary, and the other insurance was our supplemental, and it would pick up at that point. All of a sudden, we started getting billed directly from the insurance the new insurance company that the big company switched to, and we even had to work to get Medicare to come back in because they were charging the insurance company first, and which was a much higher bill for portion for us. Anyway.
What this call is about, a very common issue that we are all faced with today. If you happen to be lucky enough to have worked for a large employer, maybe a national employer, maybe the government, and the government gives you health insurance benefits as a retiree, you may be finding that the retirement plans and the benefits that you used to get, they're not nearly as good as they used to be in the past. Long time back, when employers really had a commitment to employees, they would go out of the way to try and find the very best coverage, and they'd make sure that the coverage that they were able to provide was a whole lot better than what Medicare would provide. But as you heard Karen on this call talk about, today, the employer who was providing great coverage at one time has switched over to a new plan. And instead of getting all the bills paid, the insurance company is sending a lot of the bills her way, and so they're paying more out of pocket, and they're less happy than they used to be. So what is your choice? What do you learn from this call? Here's what I want you to take away from the call. Health insurance is something, if you're retired, you should be looking into and shopping each and every year. Gone are the days that you can be absolutely 100% sure that a employer-covered health insurance plan will be so much better than a Medicare plan. Today, a Medigap plan, Plan G as in George, in my opinion, is probably going to rival even the best employer-covered plans that are out there in the marketplace. So with a Medigap plan, Plan G as in George, you will pay roughly somewhere between $180 to $220 per month in premium. So it's a hefty premium that you're going to pay. This in addition to whatever your Medicare deductions are. So you now round up to about $300, $350, $370 a month. And then when you start using the plan, you will pay a deductible one time every year, about $300 and some odd dollars, $318, $320. But then after that, there is no co-payment. There is no deductible. You will never see a bill coming from your insurance company again. Not only that, if you happen to be vacationing in Florida or in Hawaii and you fall ill, go see a hospital, go to a hospital there, go see a doctor up there, you will never be out of network. If you want to see a specialist, you don't have to stand in line with your primary care physician to give you a referral. If you can find a specialist who accepts Medicare and your plan, you can just walk right in. You can self-refer yourself. So there's so many benefits to getting into a Medigap plan. that you should seriously be looking and reconsidering. Even if you're happy with the employer-covered plan, I would be recommending that you at least shop it during the open enrollment period and see whether the new plans that are available or the new plan, the Medigap plans, they're going to be worth it or not. Now, let me give you a couple of cautions up there. There are downsides to going into a Medigap plan. Most employer-covered plans will include vision, hearing, and dental. A Medigap plan will cover neither one of these things. Now, when it comes to the dental or the vision or the hearing, the only plan that I recommend to my clients is that you should keep a dental plan. If you have a dental plan, you can go visit a dentist. It doesn't pay very much, but it lowers the cost that you will have to pay after the benefits have exhausted. The vision, I don't think that it is that big a deal in vision. You can go to America's Best and you can get 2 pairs of glasses for under $90 until you're really persnickety about the frames that you want to buy. And hearing, you can go to Costco and get hearing aids for $1,600 to $1,700. And so really having those 2 coverages, to me, is not that big a deal. So if you're employer covered, know you have options. Take a moment, shop around, and just don't sit thinking that if you drop the plan, you may never be able to get back into the plan again, that it'll be such a bad thing for you anymore. If you like this type of information, like us, follow us, share us, and join us on the next episode of Aging Options, the podcast.
Hello, producer Alec here. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Aging Options, the podcast. If you would like to know more about this topic and many other topics surrounding retirement, aging, and how to ensure that you're able to live out the retirement you deserve, please head on over to AgingOptions.com. If you want a comprehensive, deep dive into planning your retirement and don't want to wait until next week's podcast, I highly recommend Rajiv's best-selling book, Your Retirement, Dream or Disaster. You can find both soft and hardcover editions on the AgingOptions.com website. Please follow us on social media at Aging Options. If you want to see this podcast in video form, you can find us on YouTube, also at Aging Options. Until next week, age on.